Welcome. Today we're going to talk about 5 pieces of advice that I wish I could have told my high school self over the years. This is going to be a pretty quick video because I don't have that many regrets, so let's get into it. Piece of advice number 1, and listen up, Alex. Only take the classes that you will enjoy. But what if I want to take all the hard classes available just because everyone else is doing it? Okay, that's a fair point, and I think a lot of students think that way, so let's talk about it. When starting off high school, it's pretty normal to take a bunch of classes in different subjects, just to immerse yourself. But once you start to identify those few subjects that you really enjoy, that one subject, you should really only take classes related to it. Unless you needed to graduate. The reason I say this is that there's a lot of students, including myself, that have taken a bunch of different classes and courses that we don't particularly enjoy after we knew what we liked, just because we wanted to increase our chances of getting into a top school or program. Now, even if your goal is not to go to a top school or any school at all, in general in life, to succeed, you need a mastery of a few skills, and spreading yourself thin across many different subjects and skills, well, is only going to slow you down. So once you know what you enjoy, spend as much time as possible immersing yourself in that subject. Dedication and success in a subject is way more impressive than 12 AP courses. Piece of advice number 2, and this is an extension of number 1. Don't sign up for all the clubs and organizations that you can, so don't do all the extracurriculars that you can. I don't recommend doing this because I think it's very easy to spread yourself thin. I personally followed this advice throughout high school, and it led to me having more time to do things that I enjoyed. Hey, me again. What if I want to make my resume more impressive? I think filling it up with extracurriculars will help me out. I thought that for the longest time, but after a few years I realized that dedication to a few extracurriculars will actually be a lot more impressive, especially since you can become a very important part of them if you spend a lot of time participating. For example, I've won medals at regional and state academic decathlon competitions. And if you don't know what academic decathlon is, it's just 10 tests on 10 different subjects. And I think I experienced this success because I stuck with the program for 3 years. Had I also signed up for debate, I would have been too flooded with work to achieve anything in either subject. This happened to me the first 2 years of academic decathlon, where I participated in soccer and other programs on top of academic decathlon, and I wasn't really able to achieve much in any of them. Once I reduced the amount of extracurriculars I was doing, I started to excel at them. That being said, don't be afraid to explore, but once you've explored your options, be sure to refine the amount of extracurriculars you are taking and that you dedicate a lot of time to those few. Next up, most people that you meet in high school are likely to become irrelevant for the rest of your life. I say this because there's so many of us that get worried about what other people think because high school is like our whole world for 4 years. Bro, are you suggesting that there's more to life than just high school? Yes, that is what I'm saying. If you want to dress differently than everyone else and you're afraid of being judged, it. Just do it. If you want to pursue a non-traditional career path and grind it out during high school and you think that people are going to judge you for following a non-traditional path, it. Just do it. High school is a time where we start to discover many of our passions and the things that we really enjoy, like our favorite music, our favorite fashion, and the career path that we want to follow. So don't let anyone in high school pressure you into turning away from something that you love. This leads me to an important extension of this advice. Don't do anything just for the recognition during graduation. Most of you have probably seen this video.
Senior award ceremony. It felt so good when I heard my name announced with this title. It was so good for about 15 seconds.
In summary, the kid talks about that short moment where he was on stage and it felt incredible to be valedictorian. And then the moments afterwards where he realizes that all of that hard work that he had done to be number 1 had been for that moment and not really just for himself. Honestly, trying to be valedictorian took me down a road of taking classes that I really didn't enjoy, and since I've been down that road, I can tell you that it's not really worth it. And by that I mean, don't just do it for the recognition. If you have a bigger goal in mind, like in my case, I wanted to go to Stanford, and being number 1 was going to aid me in achieving that goal, that's a good thing, and that's a reason to strive for something like that. Again, recognition feels great, especially in front of hundreds of people, but don't do anything just for recognition. Being happy with yourself and doing things that you enjoy is a much more lasting feeling of happiness. Before we get to my last piece of advice, I know this is a shorter video in part because I'm working on some tech videos, including an M1 iPad Pro review, so feel free to hit the bell and subscribe subscribe to be notified when that drops. My last piece of advice today answers the question, how do I survive the hard work and hassle of high school? Well, assuming you have a lot of work, I recommend that you take care of yourself before you take care of your grades. I know a lot of us are wired to put our grades above our mental health, but with the rising mental health issues related to the increased pressure to do well in school, well, it's clearly not the best idea. I personally was able to stay healthy by taking tons of breaks during the day, by taking a walk, or by playing soccer. These breaks helped me stay energized, and most importantly, they helped me think and do something other than school. And when crunch time comes and you're afraid you won't be able to finish something for school, don't be afraid to communicate with your teachers. Oftentimes, you can get an extension or some form of aid. Most teachers, and keyword most, not all, are not out to kill you, and they'll provide some form of help if you ask them. That'll be all for today. If you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them down below, and until next time, adios.